Power drain batteries. If the batteries of the remote are power drained, then you cannot use the Vizio remote. Blocked TV sensor. If the IR ray cannot reach the TV due to blockage between the remote and TV sensor, then you can suffer from this error. Electronic interference. If other devices in the vicinity are emitting radiation which interferes with the IR ray of remote, then you can suffer from the present error. Dirty power source. If the power source of the TV is delivering dirty power to the system, then you can suffer from the current problem. Power residues of TV and remote. If there are power residues in the remote or TV that can affect their ability to send or translate the IR ray, then you may face the current issue. Stuck remote memory. If the memory of the remote has stuck to a specific point or device, then you may have to encounter the issues like the current one. Faulty TV. If your TV has become faulty, then you may suffer from the error at hand. Before moving on with the solutions, we should make sure if the remote is emitting IR. Turn on the camera and then view the remote control unit through the screen of the camera. Point the end of the remote control toward the camera. Press and hold any button on the remote, and at your camera's screen, you should see a light flashing from the IR LED at the end of the remote. Check every button on the remoted, especially the power button and the volume buttons, to see if they work. Remove the batteries from the remote. Press and hold the remote's power button. It is normally located near the top of the remote control. Release the power button after 5 seconds, and any power residuals will be drained out from the remote. Press each button on the remote at least once. Doing so will help loosen any stuck buttons. Make sure to pluck out any of the remote's buttons that are locked into a constantly pushed position, and in this case, the remote control will not respond to any other input from the user. Now put the remote batteries back in your remote. Unplug the TV from the power outlet. Press and hold down the power button of the TV for 30 seconds, which will drain the residual power of the TV and may clear up the odd issues. Wait for 1 minute. Now plug the TV back into the power source and power it on. Press and hold the Set or Setup button, normally located near the top left corner of the remote control. Release SET when the LED light blinks twice. Normally, the LED light on your Vizio universal remote is located near the top of the remote control. Type in reset code of your remote. Most Vizio universal remotes have a reset code of 981 or 977. You can also consult your remote's manual to find the reset code. Wait for the LED to flash twice. Once it has flashed twice, the Vizio universal remote has successfully wiped its memory. Any firmware issues should be resolved after doing this. Now repair it with your TV. Now pair the remote with the TV. Now, the confusing thing about Vizio remotes is that they have 2 places where you can switch the remote to the appliance you want to control. One of the buttons is on top of the remote, while the other is on the bottom of the remote control. Switch it back to TV using the bottom. Locate the IR sensor of the TV. Move anything that is in front of the TV. Also, look for any visible smudge on the sensor. It will be a good idea to clear the front of the sensor with alcohol. Now point the remote at the IR sensor of the TV and press the power button. Make sure to be in the range of 10 feet from the TV, as IR signals only work up to a limited distance. Unplug the Vizio TV from the power source. Move and plug the Vizio TV to another power source where power is known to be normal. Identify any other electronic devices or even lights that are turned on, CFL, in the direct field of view of the remote sensor's window. Switch those devices off or move them to a different location. Place a strip of blue painter's tape or plain brown masking tape over the IR sensor on the front of the receiver. The painter's tape can filter the stray IR from other devices and allows the remote signal to get through. Many mobile apps can turn your mobile device into a remote. Using one of them can solve the problem. For details, have a look at Universal Remote Apps. Pop out the batteries. Batteries are usually placed in the slot that's either at the bottom of the front side of the remote or in the back of the remote. Now check the connection point terminal of the batteries if they are rusted out or carbon, the white substance, is formed over there. If so, clear the points with alcohol. Put in the new pair of batteries in the remote. Make sure the batteries are correctly installed with the positive and negative ends in the right direction.